The Mughals, from Babur to Aurangzeb, a narrative. In the pages of time, where empires rise and empires fall, one dynasty stood as a monument to ambition, beauty, and contradiction. They came from the rugged lands of Central Asia, riding with the winds of destiny, driven by fire in their hearts. This is the story of the Mughals. It began with a boy named Babur. A descendant of both Genghis Khan and Timur, he was a prince without a home. His kingdom in Fergana was lost early, but his dream never wavered, to conquer the fabled land of Hindustan. In 1526, at the Battle of Panipat, he defeated Ibrahim Lodi with gunpowder and grit, and with that, carved the first lines of the Mughal Empire in the soil of India. But empires are fragile, and sons are not always reflections of their fathers. Humayun inherited the empire, but not the certainty to hold it. Defeated by Shah Suri, he wandered in exile, broken in pride. Years later, he returned, but fate was unkind. He fell, literally, down the stairs of his library. And with that fall, came the end of a fleeting chapter. Then, from the ashes, rose Akbar. A boy of 13, crowned in chaos, raised by war. But Akbar was no ordinary ruler. He was a visionary. He didn't just conquer lands, he conquered hearts. He married Rajput princesses, welcomed all faiths, and abolished the jizya tax. In a time of division, he dreamed of unity. The Din-i-Ilahi, his spiritual experiment, was daring, perhaps impossible. But Akbar the Great etched his name into eternity not just with power, but with wisdom. His son, Jahangir, took the throne with elegance. He was a patron of art, of beauty, of justice. Yet behind the veil of power stood a woman, Nur Jahan. One of the most powerful women in Mughal history, she ruled from the shadows with intellect and command. Then came Shah Jahan, the emperor who loved, and who built. Under his reign, Mughal architecture bloomed. He gave the world the Taj Mahal, a monument to love, and also to grief. When Mumtaz Mahal died, a part of Shah Jahan died too. And as he spent his final years imprisoned by his own son, staring at the white marble tomb from a window, his empire began to crack beneath the weight of its own grandeur. That son was Aurangzeb. A warrior. A scholar. A Puritan. He expanded the empire to its greatest size, but at what cost? He reimposed taxes on non-Muslims. He destroyed temples. He silenced music. Where Akbar had opened the empire's arms, Aurangzeb clenched its fists. For 49 years, he ruled with an iron will. But the soul of the empire faded. Rebellions rose. The treasury emptied. And when Aurangzeb died, he left behind a fractured land, and a fading legacy. The Mughal Empire, once a beacon of glory, had begun its long descent. Yet even today, their legacy lingers. In the domes of the Taj Mahal, in the symmetry of Mughal gardens, in the poetry of Urdu, in the art, the food, the soul of India and beyond. From Babur's first strike to Aurangzeb's final breath. The Mughal story is one of vision, of struggle, of brilliance, and of tragedy. An empire built on dreams, fire, and marble. A dynasty that gave the world both beauty and lessons. Because empires fall. But stories live forever.